This is the way we get things started. Welcome to the Rise and Grind. I'm your man, Don Allen, where today we will be doing something a little bit different. I know normally you'll hear the music fading in and that sort of deal, but we're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm still getting set. I was in there making my smoothie. Get your coffee and get your juice and get your smoothie and all of that good old stuff so we can get this thing started. Um, Before I start the show, I have to take a moment out to, first of all, thank our God, our Lord and Savior, for this day. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you're doing, and all that you will do. Um, Now, I also got to give big props to the Detroit Lions, who did win last night. However, the Seattle Seahawks did win as well, which knocks us out the playoffs. And if you know anything about me and a lifelong Detroiter, although I did spend a little time away in Houston, Texas, and I came back, but born and raised here in Detroit, I was not a real fan of the Detroit Lions, and I said I would not go until they sent us or gave us a product that I could, get behind. Well, I think we found that product. Now, I'm going to tell you also something about me. Um, if I do go to a game, which I will, when I do go to a game, um, I'm going to spend some money because I like being close to the game. So it'll be like a $300-400 seat, and that's hopefully right around the 50-yard line somewhere. The first 11, 12 rows is cool for me. All right, so I'm looking forward to that. Next season, I will be at Ford Field, and I will actually attend my very first tailgate. I have never been to one, and I'm looking forward to it. So look forward to that. Okay, now that being said, as soon as my papers, everything is, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Murphy's Law. Let's get this day started as soon as my notebook stays right. Good morning, Mark Wallace. How are you, my brother? Hope everything is going well. The Lions did the doggone thing. I mean, even though we are not in the playoffs, I was proud to be a viewer and a citizen of Detroit, not just because of the Lions, but majorly yesterday because of the Lions. Okay? So, we are your new number one 24-hour radio streaming station that plays jazz and so much more. We are WJZD Radio Detroit, and this is the Rise and Grind Morning. I'm your guy, Don Allen. And before we get started, I have to send a massive shout out to my new partners in crime, Carol Cordell and Vince Moore, who, did what no one has done in a long, long time. They got me out of the house on a Saturday night, and we hit the mature adult club scene, okay? We represented WJZD Radio and Detroit Proven all over the city. We hit Soul on Ice. Special thanks to Teresa Hill, for letting me know about that. Then the Paradise Club. Special shout out to Gary Chandler, who got me on the guest list. Me, Vince, and Carol. And then we went to the Griot for the owner's birthday party over there. Had a great time over there. All of the spots were pumping. I even ran into my man Ray Hines and Kelly Holmes and DJ Snake. The entire evening was fire. Thank you, Vince and Carol, for an awesome evening. Okay, y'all ready to get this thing started? See, y'all tired of hearing me running my mouth, so I guess you would be. Yeah. This hour musically, we're going to do something new, okay? A little bit different. It's Monday, and it's all about the artists, their music, and every Monday, and today, we begin with the diva of Detroit. She is very special to me because unlike most of you guys, a lot of you guys, if you're my age or closer, you knew her from the Sentinel Center downtown on Jefferson and Shane. You saw her perform there. You saw her perform over there at that bar called the Side Door Upstairs. I'm talking about the diva of Detroit, Miss Anita Baker. That's right. We'll be talking about her, and we will hear from her in her own words. Yes, it took me a little while to get this thing started. What up, CB, Corey? What's going on? And Shelly K. Yeah. Yes, good morning, sweetheart. How you doing? One of the other divas of the Motor City, Miss Shelly K, with us this morning. Thank you so much. we're gonna talk about way back when I was just a little DJ, a little Don Allen, a little Don Poole, and I looked a lot like I do today, minus the mustache, because I had no hair. My mom kept us bald headed, and my ears were like way out here flapping in the wind. Way back. But let's get started. Um, Anita Denise Baker, American singer, songwriter. She is one of the most popular singers of soulful ballads, especially renowned for her work during the height of the Quiet Storm period in the 80s. And she was actually born in Toledo. I did not know that. She married my man Walter Bridgeforth from 1988 to 2008. And she has two sons, Edward and Walter. And yeah, we all know about the multiple, Grammys and the countless awards. But I thought it would be nice to hear her music and talk about her from a fan that saw her before the songs, the awards, and the Grammys. The fan is me. And I was actually a student at Winterhalter Elementary School when she was in what may have been a talent show, I guess. Good morning, Dawn. How are you? Cece, how you doing? Joe Nixon, thank you for joining us. Yeah, they had a little, variety show or a talent show. Let me turn this down a little bit. At Winterhalter. And I'm thinking that might have been her first performance, because I was a little boy and, it might have been a talent show and Miss Baker performed and I was love struck. I was like, I was like 8. Keep in mind, I'm a little bald-headed boy and I couldn't keep my eyes off this girl, and I'd see her in the hallway and I'd freeze, Good morning, John B. How you doing? And when she walked by, and I think she spoke to me. Yeah, and she was in chapter 8. Thank you, Cece. And she was probably my first crush. We never formally met until a few years back. Well, actually, from today, it would be like closer to almost 10 years ago, maybe even closer to 15. I was hosting a show at the State Theater, which is now the Fillmore, and she was on a date night with her husband. And they were sitting front row, and, so I got permission before I went down there because perhaps they didn't want anybody knowing that they were there, and so, I went down. They said it would be okay, so I came down and I chit-chatted with her, and I never never let her know that I was that little bald-headed boy at Winterhalter. Good morning, Carl Holmes, my man, one of my favorite bass players. Yeah, maybe a year. You're right, CC. I didn't want to say anything there because that's kind of awkward. I had a big crush on you when we were at Winterhalter, So I didn't say anything then, but she was so pleasant, which is the exact opposite of when she's in the studio, and we'll get to that too. The music right now you're hearing in the background is Detroit's own, the late great Mr. Al McKenzie, Caught Up in the Rapture, which is a spinoff or a cover of one of Anita's records. Crystal Ball, what's going on? Marie Briand, bonjour. How are you this morning? Okay, we are talking every Monday. I want to choose a new artist, or I want you guys to choose a new artist. So help me out here. Choose us a new artist, and we will do some research on them. Look at all this stuff. I got arrows pointing down. Because there was so much in so little time, we came up with this like on Thursday, Yeah. Well, everybody in Detroit was behind the lines, but we'll get to the lines in just a bit. We're going to choose a new artist to do, and we are so glad you are back, Marie. Thank you so much for coming back, and we were praying for you and your family. Thank you so much. Dawn said, she had the pleasure of meeting and speaking with her at this St. Regis when you were the HR director. That's right. Now, this is the voice that you all remember, right? Check this out. Good morning, Anitra. Welcome to the Rise and Grind. The Detroit diva, Miss Anita Baker. But as I was telling you guys, I did get a chance. I spoke with her and her husband. They were on a date night at the State Theater, which is now the Fillmore. And she was so polite, so cool, you know. And yeah, actually, when I think back, I would see her at the Centennial Center over on Jefferson with Chapter 8 and this little club called the Side Door Upstairs over on Telegraph near Michigan. And the fact is, I didn't recall or recognize that she was that little girl that I had been in elementary school with a big crush, you know. Partially because whenever she performed, as I remember it, I would always miss the introductions. You know, I was one of them fashionably late people, and the band was already playing when I walked in the door. So I would always miss that part, and it just never dawned on me that it was actually her. You know, and yes, once again, everybody's saying, Chapter 8, Chapter 8. And now, I'm not sure if this part of the story is correct, but they booted her out of that group, and they said she would never make it. And good morning, Andrea Phillips. Thank you for joining us. They booted Anita Baker out of Chapter 8, said she would never make it. And the funny fact about it is that that's when a year or two later, that's when her first album came out, and that was the last chapter for Chapter 8. For lack of a better way of saying that. So that's what the fascinating part about her story is. So let's get into her music from back then, her story, her songs. She is our hot topic. She is Detroit's own Anita Baker. Same old love, you know. She has an undeniable sound that is truly her own. It is smooth as silk, and her lyrical content takes you not only into her life experiences, but they remind us of experiences of our own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we're going to be dipping and dabbing and dodging into her music, and we're going to even hear from her as well. She's been called so many different things, some of them not so kind, and it was fascinating, but it's fascinating to hear people speak poorly of a woman with so much talent. And generally, it's musicians that I'm hearing this from, saying how difficult she was to work with. But when you are a perfectionist, when you've got a voice like what you're hearing in the background right now, Gene Edwards, what's going on? Don! When you've got a voice like Anita Baker's, you want everything. Everything must be perfect. Quick sidebar. I was at Shane Park many years ago. Nancy Wilson performed there, and there was a problem with the sound. And Nancy stopped the show, and she told Mr. Soundman to get his act together, get it straight. She's going to walk off, and when she comes back, let's do this because the people in the audience deserve her at her best. And Anita is the same way. Not that Anita ever walked off stage because of the sound, because Anita made sure it was correct before. And a lot of musicians were really teed off, and we'll get into that, okay? So let's see if we can keep moving things along here a little bit. That's how we start our Monday morning. This is the Rise and Grind Monday, and your man Don Allen is here. And this is our first, exactly, Joe. Everything falls on her. Dawn says she's a real diva. She makes you wait before she takes the stage. I've waited 45 minutes to an hour for her to take the stage. Now, funny thing about that didn't happen until I won't be neglected. That didn't happen until later in her career, because I saw her twice. Because I was Anita Baker. I'm still pro Anita Baker. I saw her twice at Masonic Temple, and once when she opened up for Luther Vandross. And there was no waiting. When it was time for Anita to hit, boom, she walked out there and does her little thing with the heartbeats, and I was like catching them heartbeats, and I'm like, baby, yeah, Tony Hill, yeah, from First Friday. Sorry I missed this First Friday, Tony. I will be there February, the first weekend of February. You have my word. But we're talking about Anita Baker, Detroit's own diva, and had my first crush was Anita Baker. I was 8 years old. She must have been like 9 and a half. Didn't even know who the heck I was. I was the little bald-headed boy with the big ears, at Winter Halter Elementary School. And I still remember vividly her being on stage performing. And from that moment on, I was like, whoa. Didn't know what that tingly feeling was. Ooh. But she was actually my first crush. That's why I chose her for this first Monday. Janae, good morning, darling. How you doing? We're talking about my personal experiences, and perhaps you guys may have one as well, of Detroit's own Motor City diva, Miss Anita Denise Baker. Okay? And we're just going to touch on some of her music, and I've got a few stories that we can talk about. Plus, we're going to we'll hear from Anita in her own words. As a matter of fact, we're going to hear it right after this song, so stick around. Yes. Dina Brown Munns, it was a pleasure seeing you on Saturday. James Witherspoon in St. Louis. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is the Rise and Grind. We're talking about Miss Anita Baker, Detroit's own Motor City diva. Oh yeah, and I've got some of her old jams on deck. We're going to give you the best that we've got because Anita gave us the best. All the things that they said about her, about being difficult to work with. And I don't know whether she went south. And some of the interviews I heard, I didn't play all of the excerpts, but some of the interviews were not very kind. But she responds to it with class and style and dignity. E-flat, what's going on, my brother? That would be nice to do, but I know she's really busy right now, CC. But I'll try to reach out to her camp and see if we can get her on the phone or something, and maybe a Zoom call.
Come on, baby, won't you come on? See about me.
Do you have your coffee this morning? Do you have your juice, your water, and so forth? Do you have it all? This is the Rise and Grind morning. This is how we start our Monday morning. I'm going to try to pick a new artist, and I need you guys to help me out. I was speaking to Dawn yesterday, and she said maybe Michael Henderson. All you need, Will You Be Mine, and Whatever It Takes. Yeah, they never get old. They never get the love they deserve, too. Gina, what would you like to hear this morning? Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go, the Hubba Bubba Band. Do you remember that? Here we go. This is where the band got the name. My baby. Sweet baby. Now take it up, Anita. Now, did you know the name of her band got the name the Hubba Bubba Band from that line right there? That's where the name for the band came from. And she nails it every single time, which is why she took her time getting the music right, making sure the instruments were properly in tune. I mean, everything falls on when you are Anita Baker.
That was my year. I had it. That was my year. That was some year. Yeah. Yeah. I was certified that year. Certified.
Certified what?
Certified by people that I respect in the music industry.
Now, of course, she's talking about right there when she got her Grammy, her first Grammy. And, hey, sis, what's going on? You had her phone number and you didn't give it to me? I know she's over in St. Clair Shores, over on the east side. Denise Brooks. This is what I loved about Anita. Every single time she stepped to the mic, every single time she does it today as well, she actually gives it all to you. And if you see a disturbed look on her face, something ain't right, and they better get it straight right then. But yeah, the funny thing about her story is her determination and her drive just never, it was never ending. I'm big on faith, everybody, and you guys that know me know that I'm big on faith. And this is a lady who is just a picture of it. She just never gave up faith. When she flew out to Los Angeles for her first, conversation. Yeah, she's only like 4'7". She went out to LA and got dumped by the record company. So she flew back here to Detroit, got a job being a receptionist, I believe. And she was working diligently and doing her thing, still probably performing and recording. But she finally got another phone call. And it was from another record company. And later on in here, I'll tell you who the record company is because I took so many notes and they're so crammed together. I was trying to get this together for today. But the record executive had her on the phone and said, "We want to make you a star." And that was when the Songstress album hit. And she shot off like a skyrocket, at least from this vantage point. I remember seeing her at the side door upstairs over on Telegraph. And I was like, it was just something. I had forgotten that she was the same little girl that I had seen at Winterhalter. And I was just like, whoever the hell she is, she can blow, And I think I called it right there. And I was like, she is going to be big. She is going to be big. I've only done that twice in my life. And I'm so thankful that both people that I said that about actually were successful. Anita Baker is one, and Kim is the other. When I first heard Kim, I had just flown back into Detroit from Texas, and somebody was playing a bootleg CD. I'm like, who is this trying to sound like Al Jarreau? Whoever it is, he's nailing it. And he was like, well, that's Kim. And he told me that a little story that we had to remember from JZZ. And they said he's performing tonight down at Harbor Town, which is now the Motor City Casino. Oh, no, that's not Motor Town. It's Greektown Casino. And I went and saw him play. I was like, whoa. So I went and met him. And then I got one of his CDs, and I took it back to Texas, and he blew up. The rest is history. But anyway, she's been called a bulldozer for the way her determination, gets things done and the way she wants them done. It's that same determination that has won her multiple Grammys. Not one, not two, but multiple Grammys. Tell you what, we'll be right back with more from Anita Baker. Get your coffee. This is the Rise and Grind Morning Show, WJZD Radio. This is the Rise and Grind
Listen
Morning
to what
with your
people are
man,
saying
Don
about
Allen.
Sleep Sense from Common Sense Wellness Worldwide.
That's my favorite product. I go to bed and I put it under my tongue, enjoy the taste, and boom, I'm gone within probably 10 minutes. And it's like all of a sudden it's morning and you wake up refreshed. It's probably the most incredible product I've ever experienced.
Sleep Sense is one of my favorite products I've ever taken in my life. The results are so immediate. The very first night I took it, I slept the best I've slept ever that I can remember. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety, nervousness, depression type issues my whole life. And so I find that I can lay down and in just moments I'm asleep. It feels like I'm eating a Jolly Rancher candy while I go to sleep. I started sleeping through the night.
If you have trouble falling asleep or sleeping through the night, now you can experience the best sleep of your life with Sleep Sense from Common Sense Wellness Worldwide. Go to WJZDRadioDetroit.com and click on the sleep banner. That's WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Click on the sleep banner and enjoy the best sleep of your life.
When it comes to your car, maintenance is vital. Routine service is key to making sure that you don't have to worry. And there's no better place than 70s Quick Lube Valvoline.
They'll change your oil, and they'll use the best. Valvoline products protects 40% better against wear, resists oil breakdown 10 times better, and defends 25% more against deposits than industry standards. You also get a free 18-point safety check with every change. That includes topping off your fluids, brakes, tires, and hoses. Potential issues can be discovered during routine service. Stop by 70s Quick Lube Valvoline at 20827 John R. near 8 Mile Road in Hazel Park, or call 248-547-4114. They're open 7 days a week. At 70s Quick Lube Valvoline, they take care of business because they're the best in the business.
Okay, we're back and we're talking about Detroit's own Motor City diva, the Queen. If Aretha Franklin is the Queen, then Anita Baker damn sure is a princess, okay? And we've got a few princesses and princes and kings here in Detroit. I mean, we're the Motown Sound, baby. That's where all the good stuff comes from. So we're talking about one of our princesses today, Detroit's own Miss Anita Baker. And, you know, tell you what, let's let you hear more from her. Wait a minute, where is it? Oh, great. Okay, tell you what, let's get out of that one and go into this one. I told you I had a bunch of clips, and I don't know what happened to that one, but I'll find it and I will play it for you guys, okay? This is WJCD Radio Detroit. She lived in Grosse Pointe before moving to the West Coast. But I see her at the airport constantly coming and going and coming and going. So she may still have that spot over there on the West East in Grosse Pointe. I know there's a street called Anita Baker Lane over there.
I can see it in your eyes.
But still coming up this hour, we're going to hear Feel the Need. And Janae said she wants to hear Will You Be Mine. So I tell you what, Janae, look, give me a second. I'm going to see if I can pull up Will You Be Mine from Anita. This is a Rise and Grind morning. This is how we are starting our Monday morning the right way. All of your favorite music on the way. What do you guys want to hear in terms of music next Monday? And who do you want me to focus on? Oh, yeah, incidentally, Mellow Mike says he's going to drop some Anita Baker in the mix on the Master Suite tonight. So you definitely want to check him out. Tonight at, is it 8 p.m.? Yeah, 8 p.m. on WJCD Radio. Let's see. Let's get back to the story. I'm sorry. I was filling out all of these requests that you guys are sending me. I'm seeing both screens. Joe Davidson, what's going on? Welcome to the Rise and Grind. We're talking about the Motor City Diva, the lady we know as Anita Baker. Anita Denise Baker, born in Toledo, raised here in Detroit, right over there on Cortland near Petoskey, between Petoskey and Broad Street. And I was living on Petoskey, right around the corner. And had she was my first crush, you know, so hey. So don't ask me why I chose her first. You know what? I probably could get in touch with Smokey Robinson before I could catch up with Diana Ross, you know, another diva. But, you know, though her career has always been, you know, Anita, she's always been a consummate professional, wanting to make certain that everything was perfect. When the music feels right, Anita said she was gone. And when she went, she took her audiences along for the ride. I first saw her in what I remember as to be a talent show, like I just told you, in the auditorium at Winter Halter Elementary School. Then it was at the side door upstairs, singing with Chapter 8. A few years later, she would release her first album, The Songstress. And I believe the jam on that was Angel. We can see if we can dig that up as well. That was one of my favorites. I thought she was singing to me. Boom, there it is. You guys don't understand. I'm actually popping songs in and pulling songs out. This is my trial run for this, because I've never done a show of this like this. So they'll get smoother as we go along. You know, thank you for bearing with me. And I also, once again, want to shout out Vince and Carol. I had a splendid time with you guys on Saturday night. We went club hopping. I felt like I was in my 20s again. I mean, we went to Soul on Ice, a new spot on Livernois. Thank you to Teresa Hill for telling me about that. Ran into Ray Hines and Kelly Holmes and Miss Yvette. It was nice seeing you there as well. Then we left there. We went to the Paradise out in Southfield. My man Gary Chandler put me on the guest list out there, so we went down there. And Sandy Huntington, who went to Henry Ford, had a birthday party there. I just happened to walk in. So it was me, Sandy, Dina, her brother Maurice, and I mean, just everybody. Bernard Hester was there. It was great. Had a great time. Then we dipped out of there, and they took me back downtown to the Griot and had a great time down there as well. So, you know, I was club hopping. Thank you, Denise. I mean, thank you, Vince and Carol, for such a great time. I mean, it was fabulous. I hadn't had that much fun in a long, long time, you know. We are checking out music from Anita Baker. For all the angels. Back to back. This is what we produce out of Detroit. All those other cities, yeah, y'all got some nice singers too. I'm not going to knock Phyllis Hyman and all the rest of them, but we have Anita Baker, we have Aretha Franklin, we have Diana Ross. Need I go on? Some of the best groups, some of the best music comes right out of the Motor City, and it still does.
If I could, I'd give you the world and wrap it all around you. Won't be satisfied with just a piece of this heart, my angel.
But like I said before, she had been dumped by her first record company she went and spoke to out in Los Angeles. So she came back to Detroit, you know, and she started becoming, she was a receptionist or a secretary, one of the two, I'm not certain.
Some dreams come true.
And then she got called. She got the call again, but it was from a different record company, Beverly Glen Music.
You're so strong,
And
tender to your
the way she explained it, it was on that voice clip, but it's not playing for some reason. The record exec said, "We want to make you a star."
You're my
And something you don't find in many record execs, they were telling the truth, because the rest is history. Now, as time progressed, like I said, I saw Anita Baker 2 times at Masonic, and I saw her in the round, opening for Luther Vandross. And I understand she was just at the soundboard in the Motor City Casino, and I hear the show went well. I was not there, unfortunately. 'Cause I know she was looking for me out in the crowd, but you know. This is the Rise and Grind. I'm going to let you guys vibe with this. Wait a minute, I'm going to have too much time there, aren't I?
You're my angel. Oh, angel.
Don't forget, guys, you can check us out via the app. So if you're at work, you can't see me. I'm not really doing nothing serious right now. Normally I'd be talking a lot, but I know you guys want to just check out Anita's vibe, so I'm staying quiet so you guys can check out the music. On the way, we've got a request from Anita Baker for Janae, Whatever It Takes. Also, we're going to hear Will You Be Mine, You Bring Me Joy, Sweet Love, all that before the top of the hour.
You know I will hold me tight.
You know, CC, I'm going to post that. Let's post that. CC says we need another Anita Baker concert in Detroit. I missed the last one, and WJZD could make that happen if they really tried hard. If we really had some good sponsors, we could do it. But it's going to cost a grip to get it on stage, so you know. Plus the band, plus the venue. Would you like to, send me a check? Randy Herring, good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Grind. We are streaming on YouTube. We are streaming on Facebook. And we are preparing the new website so that you can watch us all the time on that. You can watch me. You'll be able to watch, I think Kyle may do it. I know Mellow Mike wants to do it, and maybe even Waldo. So, stick around for that. And, oh, yeah, I have a surprise announcement for our new announcer for the Midday Mix. So I want you to stick around for that. I'm not going to do it today. So, sit back and chill. I got to build up some excitement. This is a request for Janae. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get you to tell your friends that there's a new station out there coming out of Detroit, and they broadcast from one pole to the other. And let me tell you, these guys are homegrown. They drop jazz, they drop R&B. They're sexy at night, they're fun in the morning. They are WJZD Radio Detroit.com.
I've always told you I give anything.
See, this is the vibe that made her famous.
My baby, you've been my best, my only friend. There's nothing like the joy you bring. I wonder what would happen if you would trust in me. I'd make you believe, I'd make you see. No
Stay with us. Coming up next hour.
from me.
Of course I'm speaking to you, sis.
I'm begging
Didn't you hear me say good morning and say it is my sister Delphine? You must have missed that part. Everybody, that's my big sister Delphine right there.
Anybody can see
I always holler at my family.
before. Let me hear you.
Whatever it takes. Still to come.
Never hurt no
Will you be mine? You bring me joy. Richard Clemens, what's going on? Don't forget, next hour, I've got some Frankie Beverly and Bays, Bobby McFerrin, Paul Hardcastle, James Ingram. Of course, we're going to get into some Detroit jet music as well. My man Reno, Carl Reed, Incognito, Lonnie Liston Smith.
I'll be around.
Yeah, you must have missed that, sis. And we're going to have that talk.
One moment spent near you.
As you guys can tell, I'm not speaking much this morning because I'm just enjoying this vibe.
Who's on my pain? Your miracle soothes me. Your hurricane moves me.
Richard said, Nita!
I cannot explain.
Sing to me, baby.
And burdens get heavy.
I always wished I had a birthday party,
They come
and that which is number one, something I haven't had in many, many years. And to have Nita, she ain't got to sing. She's got to come and sing happy birthday to me. That would just put me over the top. I'd pass out, I swear to God.
I'll make you feel like never before.
This is the ideal song to slow dance in the kitchen on. Shout out to anybody who remembers slow dancing in the kitchen. You know, while she cooking a little something for y'all to eat, and you just walk up behind and say, "Baby, come here." She says, "Stop it." And then you start that grind, and she get right in there with you. Y'all in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? And you can do it in the living room too. It's all right, but it's better in the kitchen. Do you know why? Because that's where you do your best cooking. Right there in the kitchen. Good morning, Bridget. My brother Joey Davis Muhammad. Good morning to you. And to Wendy as well. Was taking a stroll down through the Anita Baker Musical Library. We thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, got to send mad shouts out to Detroit Lions. We closed our season on a win, and I promise you, matter of fact, Joey, I'm glad you're listening. We're going to buy some tickets, and me and Joey are going to go to a Lions game. If we have to take a day off work, which is rare, Joey, if you down with that, Joey? Joey like, I don't know about taking a day off work, dog. You know, Wendy ain't going to let me do that. But yeah, Joey, we're going to have to do that. It's going to be a guy day. Tell you what, all the fellas listening to me, Mellow Mike, Waldo, Joey, Richard, we're going to take a day off. And I'm not buying no cheap tickets, so I don't know about y'all. Yeah, I've been to Ford Field, but just never for a Lions game. But listen, we're going to have to do this. You know, next season, it doesn't matter the game, the team they're playing. These are the Lions. And so now I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. They better win. Even if they lose, to hell with it. You know, but all the guys are going to go. We're going to go to a tailgate. We're going to enjoy that. Then we're going to go over to the game. So me, Richard, Joey, Mellow Mike, Waldo, and ladies, you can come too. We can make it a WJZD Family Day with the Detroit Lions, celebrating the Honolulu Blue. This is Will You Be Mine. They used to have blue Kool-Aid. Still to go, You Bring Me Joy, Sweet Love, before we hit the door. This is my first time out. We did get a little bit more facts. I was spent like till 2 o'clock in the morning writing and trying to edit this thing, and it's all right. But the music was on point, you got to admit. This is the Rise and Grind Morning. Your man Don Allen is here. Don't mention the Seattle Seahawks. You just stuck your finger in my Kool-Aid. You know? I know all the ladies out there singing this song right now. There's a few fellas out there singing it too. Baby, will you be mine? So what do you think? Next week we might do Michael Henderson. Yeah, I think we might have to do Michael Henderson next week. Thank you, Dawn. And if you guys have other suggestions, please email me at wjzdradio@gmail.com. And we'll pull all of your favorites. It doesn't have to be a Detroit artist, because I was thinking maybe Michael Franks for next week. Michael Franks, Michael Henderson, one of the Michaels, Michael Jackson. No, it won't be Mike Jackson.
It left me feeling so empty and cold that it made me afraid to let my true feelings show.
Denise Brooks, good morning. The actual name of this song, the actual name is Will You Be Mine? Will you?
I need you held right by my side.
There are just so many songs in her library that we haven't had the time to, time has not permitted us to play all of the Anita Baker library. And I really, really wish I could, but time is just not permitting. Because I could listen to this lady's voice ever. But when I think back, I will tell you this. I had such a glorious childhood. I was so blessed. I lived across the street from Diana Ross's mother. In the same apartment building we were in, Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops were there. Anita lives 8 blocks down the street and around the corner from me. Went to elementary school with her. All the Temptations and Four Tops and Supremes lived in our neighborhood. So I grew up around music. It was inevitable that I have to be some way attached to music. I mean, it's what we did in Detroit. The west side of Detroit was just booming with music.
Would you be mine?
But that's what we're going to do. Starting on Mondays, we're going to do it on Mondays. And we're just going to target one artist and just run with them all hour, okay? You guys cool with that? I want to keep the Rise and Grind fresh. We're going to do something different all the time. Big Anthony Henderson down in KC. What's going on, man? We're examining the sound of Anita Baker. And I'm going to tighten this one up because this whole hour was put together in such a short time frame. I promise you guys what I will do is I will go back and I will pull some more voice clips and we will be, just experiencing the musical legacy that is Anita Baker. Because she's brought us so much joy and she continues to do it. I will tell you another quick story about Anita. She's a celeb, and I saw her at the airport, and I just said, "Hold on, Miss Baker," and she's like, "Don't do that," because she didn't want to be bothered with nobody. And I kind of felt bad for exposing it, so I just kind of kept her down, and and I get it.
You bring me joy
Same to me.
when I'm down.
But she's still an angel.
So much joy when I lose my way. Your love comes smiling on me. I saw your face, and then I knew we would be friends. I was so afraid, but your eyes, they'd say, "Come to me."
We've got one more.
So I say to you, can we talk for a
This is the Rise and Grind Morning, helping you start your week off the right way. We were taking a look at Anita Baker, her music, and some of my past experiences hanging out with her, or running into her.
You bring me joy.
I was emceeing a show at the State Theater, which is the Fillmore, and she was sitting front row, her and Walter, and they were on a date night, and I felt kind of bad, interrupting a special night. When you're a celeb, you don't get a lot of date nights where y'all can just go out and kick it, and not really be bothered by fans, and I'm sure she realized that you're a celeb, fans are going to come up to you. But they were cool with it. They let me come down and chit chat with them very briefly, and it felt kind of awkward because I'm the type of guy I don't want to interrupt your personal private time. But she's brought us so much joy over the years. You know, listen to this voice. Got one more to go. Then I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna try to do the gym before I go in. At the end of the day, we have to thank this woman for giving us such a wonderful sound. She represented Detroit with such style, with such grace, with such elegance, with such class. And if you pissed her off, the hood came out and needed to. I ain't gonna lie. That's a Motor City thing. You gotta be from Detroit to understand that. You bring me joy. She has brought us so much joy. Yeah, you're right, CC. Might want to do Michael Henderson a little closer to Valentine's Day. You're my joy. I know ladies all over the city right now singing with me. Come on, sing. And if you loving this one, we got one more for you to sing. All right, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Are y'all singing this song? I just want to know. Are you like in a cubicle somewhere? Your cube mates are going, what the hell?
I just love you.
She is from the D. She is ours. This is the way we take you out for the day. Want you to go out and make it a great day. Be the blessing that you know that you are. Be better today than you were yesterday, which is going to be hard because you were the bomb yesterday. Make it a great day on purpose. Do it with authority. Take some Anita Baker with you. This is one of my favorites.
With all my heart,
Everybody sing. I know you singing it.
baby, stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby, never leave.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends about the station from Detroit.
Sweet
Playing that jazz and R&B like nobody else can. We have a special announcement coming for you later this week. We're starting our Mondays off. From now on, we're going to target one artist. Yeah, well, I never did. I can talk my butt off, but I cannot sing. But that's okay, CC, because you can't either. Oh.
Just trust in what we're feeling. Never leave.
Come on, ladies, sing with me.
Baby, I believe in this love. Sweet love. Help me
I want you to do something for me today. Make somebody else feel good about themselves, about their smile, about the way they look. You know, just say, baby, you got a glow today.
It'll always be this way.
Like Miss Yvette, when I saw her at Fire Soul on Ice, I said, baby, you just got this little glow. What's wrong with you? Same thing with Teresa Hill. They had this little glow about her. I think it's a woman in Detroit thing. You know?
Can't be wrong. Don't you know this is where you belong? Oh, sweet stream of lovely, baby. Stay right here.
Never fear.
Never fear, I will be all that you need.
All right, I want to hear y'all singing. I'm opening up the window. Everybody sing right now. Come on, here we go.
Believe in this love, sweet love. Help me calling out your name. I feel no shame.
we go.
so sweet.
It's cold outside, but we cooking in here. We have been checking out Anita Baker all hour long. Told you about the former bands. Told you about the perfectionist of this queen. Told you about my first crush. And the funny thing is, like many guys, she don't even know my name. That's all right, baby. I know yours. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make it a great day on purpose. Do it with authority. And remember to make each and every day count. We are WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Really?
Listen to what people are saying about Sleep Sense.